I have some amazing news when it comes to Toshi. And what is that? Not too long ago, it was announced that on X, when it comes to the official page of Toshi, it says that it was officially live on Coinbase. And I can't say this was really surprising because, of course, Toshi was, listed on the Coinbase listing roadmap. But I think the fact that it's happening as of right now is absolutely fantastic because you got to think about how Toshi is on a roll as of late. And so far, it made a very good call on Toshi. However, I think better days are ahead. And why would it not? It got listed on Crypto.com. Now it's on Coinbase. I think this right here really does matter for a meme coin, especially because naturally, it doesn't have a good use case, when it comes to meme coins. So what is a way to supplement that? It's by having great exposure. And of course, by having great exposure, more people can know about it. Hypothetically, that does create a better potential for a bigger and stronger community. Because if you take a look at Shiba Inu and Dogecoin, why are they so popular? You got to think about how they were listed in pretty much all the major exchanges. The way I view it is that it's pretty difficult to believe in something that we don't know exists. So if let's say someone doesn't know a meme coin even exists in the first place, how can they believe in it? You know what I mean? So I think this right here is a great step for Toshi. And you take a look at Coinbase, pretty much one of the biggest exchanges out there. Also take a look at Crypto.com. Man, I'm very excited. And I think this right here is really a full circle type of moment because Toshi, it's named after Brian Armstrong's cat. Brian Armstrong is the co-founder of Coinbase, and the Base network is Coinbase's layer 2. And then keep in mind, Toshi is a meme coin on the Base network. So again, this is a full circle type of moment. And I said how, of course, Brian Armstrong, at least in my prediction or hypothetically, I always assumed that he would have a great motivation to list Toshi because you take a look at a lot of other meme coins that want to join on Coinbase, some of them have a difficult time. But when it comes to Toshi, I think the reason why it felt very streamlined is because, again, when you have Brian Armstrong, of course, he loves his pets, right? He loves his cat. The name is Toshi. So when he sees a meme coin quite essentially dedicating itself to his cat, I think he was probably like, wow, this is so fantastic. And he's like, yeah, we got to list this. So the way I view it is that it's so amazing. Imagine if the creators of Toshi chose a different name. Let's say they made it something random. Like, let's say they say, hey, it's the cat named after the Base network or whatever. That really wouldn't, I think, strike a chord when it comes to Brian Armstrong. The fact that it's named after his cat, I think that right there does give it, a sense of motivation, at least for him, to list this. So this is why I really like it. Now, this is all speculative, but it only makes sense. If, let's say, I was the co-founder of Coinbase and someone named a meme coin after my pet, let's say cat or dog. Personally, I love fish. So let's say someone named it after my pet fish, then yeah, I'd be like, that's awesome. I'm going to list that. So the way I view it is that this all around is a very fantastic meme coin. As the Base network continues to grow, I think Toshi will as well. And the price of 2 cents, that's still my price target for it during this bull run. Now, people may be thinking that, okay, Toshi isn't going to gain this massive momentum. It's kind of peaking. Well, I'm going to disagree on that because the way I view it is that the Base network is just getting started. More and more people are beginning to understand just how special Coinbase's layer 2 network is. And if you take a look at the Base network, it's not that it's necessarily any different than a bunch of other layer 2s out there. Like most people don't really know how much different the Base network is than, let's say, Arbitrum, for instance, right? But in my opinion, the fact that it is Coinbase's layer 2 does give it a lot of validity and also credibility because while we know, of course, of other layer 2s out there, the backing when it comes to this one is very impressive. I mean, Coinbase, come on, that's so amazing right there. Now, when you take a look at Coinbase as an exchange, also, it's really gaining momentum. So when you take a look at people who believe in Coinbase, naturally, some of it will flow to its layer 2, the Base network. And I think just because something like Toshi is on there, people are going to believe in it too. Take a look at when Solana popped off. Guess what went along with the ride? Meme coins like Dog with Hat, like a Book of Meme. And while Book of Meme and Dog with Hat, in my opinion, kind of already had the winds blowing off its sail because I don't feel like the momentum is really there. Something that is on the rise is Toshi. So instead of me acquiring random dinosaurs, for instance, like in the case of Shiba Inu or Dogecoin, or let's say other meme coins that don't really have that momentum, I think this right here is a no-brainer. Now, keep in mind, 2 cents, that is around the 20x from here. People may think it's kind of bad, but not too long ago, this seemed a little bit impossible. And considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $8 billion. Keep in mind, when it comes to something like an $8 billion market cap, we've seen Shiba Inu reach around 40 billion, Dogecoin reach over 80 billion at their peaks, of course, back in 2021. So it's not crazy. And when people say, oh, 20x is so bad, well, considering how much Toshi has pumped, let's say doing an additional 20x from where it is as of right now, it doesn't seem too terrible, at least in my point of view. Now, I get it. It's not going to be the best upside, but Toshi isn't a microcap. Well, not too long ago, the market cap was pretty low. It was like below $60 million. But even still, despite that, when I take a look at this, it still has room to grow. And I think that as the base network continues to really just push on forward, as it really does continue to prosper, man, I think so will Toshi. And I don't think the base network is going to fail anytime soon. I mean, when Coinbase has a layer 2, I don't think it's going to fail. Now, a layer 2, what it does is that it allows Ethereum to be enjoyed while at the same time not having to deal with, like, for instance, the sky-high gas fees and scalability issues. So, of course, a layer 2 does have a role. It's not like the base network is the greatest layer 2 of all time or anything like that, but it's just the backing, if that makes sense. It's like, let's say, a celebrity makes a clothing brand. Is the clothing material or the brand quality really different than, let's say, Nike or Adidas? Probably not in some cases. Maybe it might be even worse. But then let's say because it has the name attached to the brand, or like, let's say the actor, the celebrity, the athlete, whatever, it does give it more credibility, if that makes sense. It's like, for instance, The Rock and Under Armour. People who may naturally not even want to buy Under Armour in the first place just because they're fans of The Rock, they might just get that. You know what I mean? So this right here, I think, really does play a major role when it comes to the base network. Now, the base network is built in collaboration with one of the biggest layer 2s, in my opinion, which is Optimism. So it's like they sort of got good assistance when it comes to this. Coinbase, they have the resources, they have the capital, they have the sort of experience in terms of creating something amazing. But then you combine that with the expertise of something like Optimism, that's game, set, match right there. I think that when it comes to base, it's going to be a big narrative. Toshi is going to be a big narrative, in my opinion. Brett, also another big meme coin on the base network. Also, you take a look at Aerodrome, which is a very amazing decentralized exchange, again, on the base network. I think these are going to be big narratives. And when you think about it, there's not really that many things on the base network that are popular. I mean, there's pretty much 3 straight off the bat: Brett, Toshi, and Aerodrome. So imagine once the attention really does flow to the base network in a massive way, like what we saw with Solana, with the BNB chain, for instance. Can you imagine what's going to happen to the amount of attention that is being concentrated? It's pretty much going to be in these top 3 projects, and I think they're just really just going to sort of go along with the ride, and I really can't wait. When you have over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research currently, more than ever before in history, I think that this bull run is going to be so spectacular, but it's just a matter of time, in my opinion. I think in the next 6 months, to let's say 10 months, things could be so different. And if Toshi is doing this as of right now, could you imagine once April comes around, May, June, July, this could be so fantastic. And I think it's just the beginning. Even historically speaking, we do know that altcoins usually peak as a worst case scenario around a year and a half after a Bitcoin halving event. If we take that into consideration, that would actually mean around October this year, again, historically for altcoins to peak as a worst case scenario. Now, things could maybe happen a little bit later or a little bit sooner. We just never truly know, because this is just more so of a baseline or like a benchmark. History isn't always going to repeat itself. However, it does tend to rhyme. So I think that, if anything, it showcases how Toshi still has a ways to go. Again, if it's doing this early on, could you imagine 5-6 months down the line? I really can't wait. So that's why 2 cents, that's still my price target for this bull run. I think the base network has a bright future. And seeing Toshi being listed on these major exchanges, that's a massive thumbs up for me. I think it's amazing news. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's Lee the Captain, and I'll catch you all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.